and we're looking at constructing market clearing prices. And you might remember that the question is, how do you find the price that clears the market? And the solution is a 7-step process. And you can stop the video here and read through each individual step, or let's start taking those steps and see what happens. So we start by giving, and let me take the arrow here. We start by giving from 0 all the different products. We start with the price 0. And then these valuations are the valuations which X gives for A, 4 for B, and 2 for C. And then you can count the profit, and you will notice that 12 minus the price, which is 0, he profits 12 from A. His valuation is 4, price is 0, he profits 4 from B, and 2 minus 0 equals 2 from C. So by looking at X, he has a clear preference. He would prefer A. And you can count the same, and hopefully I have done them correctly, for Y here, and also for zeta. Now, let's go into the next slide and have a look at what each X, Y, and Z would prefer, and what we end up with. So we end up with a situation that each buyer would prefer to buy A, and this is known as a constricted set. So since A is a constricted set, we raise its price by 1. And let's go to the next slide. Here you can see the price has been raised by 1. And once again, you do the calculations. 12 minus cost 1 is 11. All the others remain the same. X would still prefer A, and you can do all the calculations here, and you find that Y would prefer A or B, and then zeta has his preference. His unique preference is A, and if you draw the preference lines, this is the picture you come up with. Now the question is there a constricted set here? And yes, A clearly is a constricted set. All 3 players would like to have A, and also notice that in this particular picture, A is the constricted set, and let's see in the next slide what happens. You raise the price by 1, and now the price of A is 2. You go through the calculations again here. What is X's preference? He would prefer A. You do the calculations, you go into the next picture, and now if you look at this picture here, there are 2 players which would prefer A, and also 2 players which would prefer B. So in this case, both A and B are a constricted set, so we add the price of 1 to both of these, and we come up with the next slide set, and here we now have price 3, price 1, price 0. Once again, you go through the calculations. 12 minus 3 equals 9. Okay, that's bigger than 4 minus 1, which is 3, and 2 minus 0, which is 2. So X would prefer A, and you do this calculation, Y would prefer B or A, and zeta would prefer A or B. And let's see if I have the in the next slide set. When you look at this, the question is this a constricted set, or can you give or can you distribute this? And it needs some time of looking. One thing which is clear is that you would give XA, therefore you cannot give zeta A, you would have to give him B, and since you cannot give YB, you would give Y zeta, so this would be an optimal market clearing prices. So by putting the prices at 3, let's take the arrow again, 3, 1, and 0, you could distribute these 3 objects by 3 different sellers so that everybody would get his optimal choice. And let's see if I have that on the next slide. No, sorry. So there is a market clearing price for this. And if we go all the way back to the first slide, which is here, all you have to do is follow this process. And computers can be built and programs built to follow this process automatically. So basically all you have to do is give your or collect the valuations and then collect and then start the market clearing price formulation. This takes a bit of thinking through, and I encourage you to do go through the video once again and look at the examples. Thank you.